Hello friends, today we are going to learn the data science. Nowadays, the data science is a buzzword. When I'm saying buzzword, that means whether it is researcher or a student or a academia or an industrialist, everybody is talking about data science. But what is the importance of this data science? Why it is becoming a buzzword? Because see, in a single day, you might have observed that we are just uploading data onto the internet. But what we are going to do with this data? The data could be your YouTube videos, data could be your Facebook posts, data could be your images, and number of information we are uploading onto the internet. But now the question is how to extract the useful information out of this data. And probably this is the area, that data science is the area where we are going to learn how to extract the useful information from the data. So in this total lecture, we are going to learn the data science with Python. And today I'm going to cover the only first part, that is data science overview. In overview, I'm going to give you the introduction, the objective of the data science, its definition, how you will see the life of a data scientist, what are the basic skills required for a data scientist, and what are the various applications we do have in data science. Now, the objective of learning of the data science is, as I've already told you, that is to derive valuable knowledge for the business from the data in order to make better decisions. The decisions could be like in sales, like when you are going to purchase something onto a mall or onto a say store, then usually you are purchasing items like say bread, butter, any household items like ready-made garments. Then when you are going for a billing, along with your name and mobile number, approximately all the information is being recorded over there. Similarly, in the next month or after a couple of days, when you again revisit that particular store, then again you will find that the information is again re-entered. So what that means, your data is being entered to the system. But now what this data is being used for? So probably the companies, the retailer companies, is going to analyze the pattern of your purchase, and on the basis of that, they people is going to give you a lots of offer on a the item. For example, when you are going to purchase a bread, then simultaneously you're also going to purchase a butter. So this is a pattern. So by identifying this pattern, they may offer certain schemes to you so that you will purchase more, and the sales of that particular items can be increased. There are so many examples of this kind of this data science. They have the use in the business as well as into the various other fields as well. So now let's give you the definition of a proper data scientist. So the data scientist collects data, explore the data, then to analyze, visualize it. So while doing all these activities, they use various mathematics and statistical method to find out the different patterns and the solution in the data. So you may termed as the data science is a combination of multiple disciplines. It's not a single discipline. So it's a combination of multiple disciplines that includes your business knowledge, that include your statistical knowledge, that includes your programming knowledge, that are intended to extract meaningful insights from the data by running controlled experiment similar to the scientific research. So the data analysis can be, now what are the various type of data analysis? This analysis could be your descriptive. That means in descriptive analysis, what we are going to do? We are going to study a data set to decipher the details. That means to find out the information out of this data set. Whereas in case of predictive analysis, we are going to create a model based on the existing information to predict outcome and the behavior. For example, suppose now you are capturing the data of the weather. So when I'm saying capturing the data of the weather, that means what is the temperature today, what is the humidity today, what is the pressure today, what is the wind speed today, and suddenly you find that the rain has also happened. So this kind of data is being collected. So this data can further be utilized to predict the rainfall. Similarly, the third kind of data analysis could be your perspective analysis. In this, basically we suggest some actions for a given situation using the collected information. So this is what the data scientist is. Now let's look at the day of a data scientist life. So majority of the time of the data scientist spends into the collection of the data. The data can be collected through various databases. It could be your structured data. It could be your unstructured data. It could be your semi-structured data. The structured data means the data which is in the form of a specific table, where all the row and columns are specifically defined. The unstructured data, that could be in the form of web logs, that could be in the form of video and other things, and the semi-structured data kind of where we have the mixed kind of information. There we have certain tables and certain other information. So once you will capture the data, once you acquisite the data, then is data wrangling. When I'm saying data wrangling, that means, see, while capturing the data, there are so many things there. For example, some of the persons can write down the date of birth, say 14th May 1976. So some of the people is going to write down the data in the form of 14.08.1976. So this data is non-consistent. Somebody will not write down their gender, whether male or female. That means there are some anomalies in the data. There are some misinformation in the data. And there sometimes what happens, by wrongly you enter the data. For example, when you are going to write down the age of a person, so there you can enter the date of birth. So this kind of wrong information we need to pre-process. So all these kind of pre-processing comes under the heading of data wrangling. So the second task in the data scientist life is in the data wrangling. Then once you do this kind of activity, the next task, if you are going to learn, if you are going to apply certain machine learning techniques, then obviously you are going to apply those techniques. Otherwise, there are mathematics and other statistical model are being used to visualize the data. You can develop certain reports and you can develop certain data products. So this is just a brief overview of the data scientist life. Then coming to the basic skills of the data scientist, as I've already told you that data science is a combination of various say disciplines. So the data science should be able to ask the right questions. That means he should be a very good, I'm saying he should know that how to ask the question in order to extract the information. He should know the basic data structure. That means the programming aspect of it. He should be able to interpret and wrangle the data. He is able to apply various statistical and mathematical methods. He knows certain visualization techniques, kind of a Tableau or through Python or through R. And I'm going to talk to you about, later on this language, what is R, what is Python, what is Tableau, and which we are going to use. But obviously in this lecture series, I'm going to use the Python. And the most important skills for a data scientist, that is, he should be a good team player. Then I will now, from where we are capturing the data, what are the various sources of the big data? So data scientists work with different type of data sets for various purposes. So your data can be a image, data can be your video, data can be audio, data can be your server or network logs information, data can be your location information, data can be in your textual format, data is your social analysis, data can be collected through the sensor. So all these are the sources of the data, or I would like to say call it a big data. When I'm calling data as a big data, then usually we are looking at the three most important aspects of the data. Means the first aspect, that is, data should be voluminous. That is a huge data. I'm not saying huge means it's not a MB or GB. When I'm saying huge, that means in the form of a terabytes or in the form of a petabytes. Then second aspect of the data is, that is the speed. The speed the data is coming. So we call it a velocity. Velocity means, see, you might have observed that everybody is like using the YouTube, and even in like the population of India is very huge. Think over that. If hardly 1% of the person is uploading the YouTube videos in a minute, then how many people are simultaneously adding the data onto the internet? I'm not counting the other country. Simply if I'm talking about India, so this is the way I'm counting the speed. That means the data, which is the speed of the data, which is coming to the internet. Third aspect is variety. Volume, velocity, and variety. There are two other aspects. I'm not going to give you the details of these other two aspects, but the third aspect I'm taking is variety. Variety of information, variety of the data we are getting. That data could be in the form of image, could be in the form of a video, could be in the form of audio, and a number of ways of collecting the data. So these are the various sources of big data. So this I have already told about, that the volume, that is the enormous amount of the data from the various sources, then the velocity, that is the large amount of the data streaming at a great speed, and the third part is the variety, that the data could be in the form of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Then the application of the data science. So various sectors are using the data science. For example, the social network platforms are using this data analysis. Various search engines are using this data analysis. Healthcare professionals are using this data science. Financial sectors are using, public sectors are using. Just I'm giving you an example of a financial sectors. Like this data science can be used to predict your say stock prices. In healthcare, you can predict the various disease, like you can predict the disease from various allergies, disease which happened into a particular weather. You can also predict the various side effects of the medicine. In so many areas, we are using this data science. And into the financial service, or we are using in FMCG services, retail sector, we are using it in order to predict the customer behavior. We are doing lots of association analysis. So all these are the application of a data science. So this is all about for today. Thank you very much. In the next lecture, we are going to learn a deep what is the data scientist and what are the various techniques to perform into data pre-processing. Thank you very much.